Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're taking a close look at something called Baryta Acetica.
That's acetate right?
Exactly. And our source for this is, well, it's specific. Homeopathic Materia Medica by William Boericke.
Yeah, and it's important to remember what a materia medica like this is. It's not like a modern pharma text.
No, not at all. It's more like a historical catalog, really detailed observations.
Often from provings on healthy people. It lists symptoms, effects they noticed.
So our mission, really, is to unpack what this particular source says about Baryta Acetica. Some of it's pretty surprising.
It really is. It covers everything from, physical feelings to quite deep mental states.
Okay, so where do we start? Let's dive in.
Well, what's fascinating right off the bat, I think, is the main effect they noted.
Which is?
Paralysis. It's reported to cause paralysis.
Okay, paralysis. But is it just general?
No, and that's the interesting part. The text is really specific. It says it starts in the limbs, the extremities.
And moves upwards.
Exactly. Spreads upwards. That level of detail right there tells you something about how closely they were observing.
Yeah, that progression is very distinct.
It focuses on the how, not just the what.
And it gets even more granular, doesn't it, when you look at the specific physical symptoms listed?
Oh, absolutely. Like pruritus of the age.
Which is that persistent itching older people can get, right?
And then for the extremities, it gets really specific again, drawing pain down the whole left leg.
The whole left leg, wow, and crawling sensations with burning stitches.
Yeah, those exact words. And again, that theme of paralysis pops up.
And lumbago, too, rheumatic pain. Muscles, joints. It paints a picture of, well, real discomfort.
Immobility discomfort, yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting for me. One particular detail.
Go on.
This sensory thing. A feeling of cobweb in face.
Yes. That one always stands out.
It's so specific and kind of weird, isn't it? What does putting something that subjective in tell us?
Well, it speaks volumes, I think, about how meticulous they were trying to be.
Capturing everything.
Exactly. Not just the big physical changes, but the really subtle personal sensations people reported. It's like a window into a very patient-focused observation.
And does that carry over into the mental symptoms described?
It really does. Same level of detail. The text talks about forgetfulness.
Okay.
And this tendency to waver, for a long time between opposite decisions.
Like a real profound indecisiveness.
And also a marked lack of self-confidence.
Right. So how do these things connect? The paralysis, the weird sensations, the indecision.
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, you start to see this comprehensive view emerge.
Okay.
The source presents these diverse physical things, the ascending paralysis, the cobweb feeling, right alongside these very specific mental states.
The forgetfulness, the lack of confidence.
Yeah, it builds a whole symptom picture, suggesting the substance influences mind and body together.
So they're seen as interconnected, not separate issues.
Exactly. That holistic view, linking mind and body symptoms, is really a hallmark of this kind of historical materia medica.
So they documented all this observation. Did the text say how it was actually, used or prepared?
It does give a dosage note, yeah.
Yeah.
It just states it directly.
What does it say?
Second and third trituration in repeated dosage.
Okay, just factual. And trituration, that's a specific preparation method, right? Grinding and diluting.
Yes,
Yeah.
precisely. It's part of that whole homeopathic system described in these historical works. Finally grinding, often with lactose, in stages.
Got it.
And this really raises an important question, I think, maybe for you listening. What does this kind of incredibly meticulous documentation tell us? Even for a substance like this, from a historical source. What does it show about how people have tried to understand health?
Yeah.
The level of detail, from how paralysis starts to feeling a cobweb to mental hesitation. It points to this really deep observational approach, trying to map out all these intricate connections.
So what does this all mean? What's the takeaway from this deep dive into Baryta Acetica?
Well, we've seen this unique picture painted by Boericke's text.
Yeah, the specific paralysis moving upwards.
Those really unusual sensory details, like the cobweb feeling.
And the mental side too, the indecision, the forgetfulness, it's a distinct profile.
It absolutely is. And it highlights that historical approach.
Yeah.
Deeply observational, quite holistic.
Right.
And maybe that leaves you with a final thought to chew on. How do these incredibly detailed symptom pictures, even coming from older or, alternative contexts, how do they make us think about the connections between mind and body? Connections maybe we don't always see today.
Interesting.
It's just a fascinating glimpse, isn't it?
Yeah.
Into the different ways people have tried to understand and record health and illness throughout history.
It really is. A testament to the depth of observation from a different time. Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah, definitely something to think about.
We hope you'll ponder some of the nuances in these detailed historical notes.